day, students. You're welcome back to mathematics class. I'm your mathematics teacher. My name is Olubayo Marilyn Kende, and today we are going to be looking at the second part of perimeter of plane shapes. Today we are going to be focusing on perimeter of circles. Perimeter of circles. Now, the lesson objectives. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to use formula to calculate the perimeter of circles. You should be able to use formula. You should also be able to calculate the perimeter of a compound shape. Okay? You should be able to calculate the perimeter of a compound shape. The instructional materials we'll be using for this lesson is Essential Mathematics for Junior Secondary School, Book 1, and the new General Mathematics for Junior Secondary School, Book 1. Now, the circumference of a circle is the distance around the circle. Okay? The circumference of any circle is the distance around the circle. This means that the circumference of a circle is the same as perimeter. Remember, we said perimeter is the sum total of the length around the edges of a plane shape. So, it can be also called perimeter. Now, the radius of a circle is the line joining the center O to any point on the circumference. Let's take a look at our circle here. This is point O. Okay? The radius is the line joining from point O to the circumference. Remember, we said the circumference is the distance around the circle. So, the point joining from any point O to the circumference is called a radius. Okay? It is called a radius. Now, the diameter is a straight line joining points on the circumference and passes through the center O as shown in this figure. The difference between the diameter and the circumference is that the diameter starts from the point O to any point on the circumference, while the circumference cuts across the point O from one end of the circle to another end of the circle. That is the diameter. Now, AB equal diameter. Let's look at this. AB is the diameter and OB is the radii or the radius. Okay? But AB is equal to OA plus OB. Look at it very well. AO, OB makes up AB. So therefore, we can say that diameter is equal to R plus R, which is radius plus radius. The same thing as D equals to 2R or R equals to D over 2. Simply meaning if we are looking for R, we divide the diameter over 2, or if we are looking for D, we multiply the radius by 2. Therefore, diameter of a circle is twice its radius. A diameter of a circle is twice its radius. Now, let's look at circumference. Now, to understand circumference very well, let's take some activity. Look for 4 cylindrical objects of different sizes, such as tins of milk, tin tomatoes, cans, and bottles. Okay, look for any cylinder you can get. Now, measure accurately the diameter of each object as shown in the diagram below. Okay, take any shape, any cylindrical shape, tin tomatoes, cans, you have maybe a picnic can, then you measure the diameter. Diameter is the distance from the top. Remember I said from one point of the circle to the other. Okay, it's the diameter. So you measure it and you record it in a table. Just take the recordings. Number 2, or the B, wrap a string around the object 5 or 10 times. Okay, you wrap a string, a rope-like material around your tin or your can of milk. Then you take it round it 10 times. Then when you finish, you measure accurately the total length of the 5 or 10 wraps with a ruler. Okay, the activity says you should take a can, measure the diameter like we've seen how to measure a diameter. It's shown here. You measure the diameter. Okay, then you take a string or a rope, you wrap it around the tin 5 or 10 times. Then you measure the length of that string. Okay, then you also, as you are measuring, you are taking record. Okay, then you divide the length by the 5 or 10 times you have wrapped around to obtain the length of the circumference of the first object. Okay, that object you have measured, you take the length, take the length and you divide by 10 or 5, depending on how you wrapped around the cylinder. Now, if you've done the activity, you would realize that the diameter, as the diameter increases, the circumference also increases. Now, from this table below, you can see that as the diameter is increasing, the circumference is also increasing. Okay? Now, this indicates that there is a relationship between the diameter and the circumference. So, in order to find the relationship, divide the circumference of each of the objects by the diameter. You see that when we divide the circumference by the diameter, you see that we have almost similar answers. Okay, the first one we have 3.1.125, second one we have 3.14, 3.14, 3.145. They are very similar, meaning there is a relationship between the circumference and the diameter. In each case, the value of CD is about 3.14, like we've seen from the table. Okay, the division is about 3.14. Since these values are almost the same, they are said to be constant. Okay, they are now a constant because the values are almost the same in all the workings. Now, the constant is usually represented by a Greek letter, pi. Okay, the constant 3.1 or 3.142, like we've seen on the table, is represented by a Greek letter. This is the symbol for pi. Okay, that is C over D is equal to pi, which is 3.142. Now, from the above relationship, we can find C as pi D, meaning to get circumference is equal to pi D. Remember, this P is representing our diameter. Okay, so pi is the constant and D is the diameter, where D is the diameter of the circle. If R is the radius of the circle, and since D equal to 2R, remember we said diameter is equal to a diameter is twice the radius. Okay, then our C, the circumference, will be 2 pi R. Let's go over this again. D is the diameter. Okay, it's the diameter of the circle. So if the radius of the circle is given, like if we are not given the diameter of the circle, since we have D as 2 radius, then the circumference will be 2 pi radius. Okay, the circumference will be 2 pi radius. Hence, our formula for calculating circumference is C equal to pi D, or in the case where we're given just the radius, C is equal to 2 pi R. Now, the value of pi on most calculators is given as this. Okay, in calculations, pi may be approximated to 22 over 7, 3.14, or 3.142. Any of these values you see is given in a question is correct. It is the same thing as pi. Thus, to find diameter or radius when the circumference is given, we will use the formula D equals to C over pi. Okay, to get diameter when the circumference is given, we use the formula C over pi, and we can also use the formula R equals to C over 2 pi. This is to get radius. Okay, to get radius, we use C over 2 pi when radius is given and diameter is not given. Note, they can also be written in small letters. So whenever you see this or this, it is still correct. Now let's take some examples. Number 1, calculate the perimeter of a circle if its diameter is 14 centimeter and if its radius is 4.9 centimeter. We're giving pi as 22 over 7. Okay, pi is 22 over 7. So from this question, we're given the diameter and we're asked to find the perimeter. Okay, so we just use the formula pi d, C equal to pi d. Remember, I said perimeter is the same as circumference. Okay, the distance around the edges of the circle is the same thing as the perimeter of the circle or the circumference. Now, pi is given as 22 over 7. So simply we impute the values in this formula, 22 over 7 times 14. And the answer we get is 44 centimeters, meaning the circumference or the perimeter of this circle is 44 centimeters. So the B part, we're given the radius as 4.9 centimeters. We're asked to find the perimeter or the circumference. Remember that we said when radius is given, the formula for calculating circumference or perimeter is 2 pi r. So we simply impute the value in the equation, in the formula, and we get our answer as 30.8 centimeters. I hope you understand. Number 2, we're asked to calculate the perimeter of this shape using the given dimensions. Okay, look at the shape here, and these are the dimensions given. Now, solution. AB equals PQ. AB and PQ are equal, all right? And it is given as 150 meters, and the diameter is 63 meters. Remember what we said about diameter? Okay, from one end to the other end of the circle. Now, arc AP and BQ are semicircles. Now, if you look at this very well, you see that this is a circle shape, but it is not complete. So it is half. So a half circle is called a semicircle. A half circle is called a semicircle. Now, since a semicircle is half of a circle, this means that AP plus BQ will make a complete circle. Okay? AP plus BQ will make a complete circle. So therefore, we can use the formula pi d over 2 plus pi d over 2 to give us pi d. All right? Please understand me. Arc AP and BQ are semicircles. Okay, but when we add them together, we get a full complete circle. So let's get the formula first. The formula for a complete circle is pi d. So since it's a semicircle, we divide by 2. So we say pi d over 2 for AP and pi d over 2 for BQ. So when we add them together, we get pi d. So we input the figures into the formula, the pi d formula. Pi d given as 22 over 7, okay, plus 63. The diameter is 63 as given. So we have 198 meters, okay? We have 198 meters for the circle AP and BQ. Now, take note that AB is equals to PQ. They are both equal. So therefore, the perimeter will be the sum of the whole figures. So we have AB plus BQ plus QP plus PA. Now, AB plus PQ is 198 meters. Okay, so we add everything together to a sum of 498 meters. Therefore, the perimeter of this shape, or the circumference of this shape, is 498 meters. Number 3, the circumference of a wheel is 132 centimeters. You know what a wheel looks like. A wheel is simply a circle. Now, calculate A, the diameter of the wheel. Okay, we're given the circumference and we're asked to find the diameter. And B, the radius of the wheel. They gave us pi as 22 over 7 or 3.14. Okay, so we're asked to find the diameter and the radius. We've been given the circumference. Now, we said that whenever we are looking for the diameter and the circumference is given, we use the formula D equals to C, that's the circumference, over pi. Okay, we've been given circumference as 132 centimeters, and we are looking for the diameter. So very simple, we impute the figures in the formula. Since we've been given pi as 3.14 or 22 over 7, here we are making use of 3.14. So the circumference, which is 132 centimeters over 3.14, will give us 42 centimeters. Therefore, our diameter is 42 centimeters. We have another alternative method here, which is more explicit. It's more explainable. Okay, it is very worked out here. We still arrive at the same answer, 42 centimeters. So since we have the diameter as 42 centimeters, let us look for the radius. We said that radius is twice the diameter. Okay, we said D is equal to R over 2. So very simply, since we've gotten our diameter here, we divide it by 2, and our radius is 21 centimeters. I hope you are following. Number 4, the minute hand on a wristwatch. The minute hand on a wristwatch is 1.2 centimeters long, and the hour hand is 0.8 centimeters long. What distance does the tip of each hand travel in 3 hours? Remember here, take note that we are looking for distance. Okay, here we're looking for distance. What distance does the tip of each hand travel in 3 hours? We're giving pi as 22 over 7. Now, solution. A minute hand does one complete rotation in 1 hour. Okay, we've learned about the clock and how how the revolution goes. So a minute hand does one complete rotation in 1 hour. Thus, the distance traveled is 2 pi r. Okay, 2 pi radius. Now, 2 pi r is our circumference. Okay, the circumference, the formula for getting circumference is 2 pi r. We've learned that. Now, to impute that into the formula, we impute the figures into the formula. 2 times the pi giving us 22/7 multiplied by 1.26 centimeters long, okay, which is the length of the minute hand, okay. So when we do that, when we take the sum, we have 7.92 centimeters. So in 3 hours, this is just for 1 hour, okay, this is just for 1 hour. So in 3 hours, we'll multiply 1 hour by the 3, okay, so 3 times 7.92 to give us 23.76 centimeters. I really hope you understood that. Okay, we first found the value, okay, the value in 1 hour, the value of one rotation in 1 hour, and we'll multiply it by 3. Now, the hour hand, if it did one complete rotation, it would be 2 pi r, which is this. So we can get C has been given as 2 pi r, so we say 2 multiplied by 22/7 times 0.84 centimeters. How do we get 0.84 centimeters? This is it, the hour hand. Okay, the hour hand is 0.84 centimeters. So we'll just do the multiplication and we get our answer here. Since the hour hand only travels 1/12 in 1 hour, okay, the distance traveled is 5.2 centimeters over 12. Okay, over 12, because it just traveled 1 hour in 12 hours. That's what this implies. So we divide it and we get 0.44 centimeters. So in 3 hours, we'll multiply 0.44 times 3. So we have our answer as 1.32 centimeters. I hope you are following. Now, number 5, a bicycle wheel. We are looking at a wheel again of radius 1,850 millimeters, makes 80 complete rotations per second. Okay, this is the radius of the wheel, and it makes 80 complete rotations in 1 second, per second meaning 1 second. What is the distance moved in meters by a point on its rim in 1 second? Take pi as 3.14. Now, solution. We first of all convert this to meters. Remember, this is in millimeters, and we're asked to find the distance moved in meters. Okay, so the first thing to do is to convert our millimeters to meter, divide by 1,000, and we have 1.850 meters. Our circumference is given as 2 pi r, so we impute the figures in the formula. 2 times 3.14 times 1.850. We have this as our answer. So the distance traveled in one revolution, the distance traveled in just one revolution is 11.618 meters. Okay, which means this is our circumference or the perimeter. It is the perimeter of the circumference. So therefore, to get the distance traveled in 80 revolutions, in 80 rotations, we'll multiply the distance traveled in one revolution by 80. And when we do that, we have this as our final answer. Therefore, the distance traveled in 80 revolutions is 929.44 meters. All right, let's take some evaluation to see if we've been following what we've learned today. Number 1, calculate the circumference of each of the following. We've been given 4 figures here, and we're asked to find the circumference of A, B, C, and D. We've been given pi as 3.142. So look for the circumference or the perimeter of these figures. 2, find the diameter and the radius of this figure below. Take pi as 3.14. If you look at this circle, we've been given the circumference. So we're asked to look for the diameter and the radius. I believe you know what to do. Number 3, the diameter of a bicycle wheel is 56 centimeters. Calculate its circumference. How many complete rotations can the wheel make in a distance of 1.7 kilometers? Okay. Number 4, calculate the perimeter of a circle with radius 42 centimeters. If a square has the same perimeter as the circle, calculate the length of one side of the square. I believe we've done something similar to this, so this should be easy. Number 5, the diameter of a car wheel is 28 centimeters. Find its circumference. 1. And how far does the car move in meters when the wheel makes 150 tons? Okay, find the distance, find how far, meaning find the distance, how far the car can move in meters. Okay, in meters, take note of the units. When the wheel makes 150 tons, take pi as 22/7. I'm going to give us a few minutes to do these evaluations. Now, the solution. We're asked to find the perimeter of this figure. Okay? Now, circumference or perimeter is equal to 2 pi r. And our pi is given as 3.142. This is the radius. Okay? So we'll put it into the formula and we have this as the answer. Okay? We are dividing into 2 because it is a semicircle. Okay, if you look at this shape, you will see that it is not a complete circle. So we can't just use the formula and leave it like that. We have to divide it into 2 because it is a semicircle. And in dividing into 2, we have the perimeter of this part as 21.994. Okay, so if this part is 21.994, this part also will be 21.994 because they are equal. Now, to get the perimeter of this figure, we add all together. Okay, that is 15 centimeter plus 15 centimeter. Of course, this part is also equal to this part. So 50 centimeter plus 15 centimeter, 21.994 plus 21.994 to give us our answer as 73.988. Therefore, perimeter of this shape is this. This is a compound shape, okay? This is a compound shape. The B part, we're asked to look for the circumference of this circle given the radius as 7 centimeters. This is an easy one. So you just impute the formula, the figure into this formula, 2 pi r, because radius is given. So the answer here is 43.988. If you got that correctly, please put your hands together for yourself. Now, the C part of the question, we're also asked to find the circumference of this circle given the diameter. And the formula for looking for the circumference of a circle when the diameter is given is pi d. So pi is the constant 3.142 multiplied by the diameter, and we have our answer as 47.13. I hope you got that correctly. Now, the D part, we're asked to look for the circumference of this figure. Now, look at this figure very carefully. You will see that it is not a complete circle. It is a half circle. It is a semicircle. So we use the formula C equal to pi over d because this is the diameter and it is given as 160 centimeters. So when we multiply it, we have 502.72 centimeters as the answer. And we divide by 2. Why? Because it is a semicircle. So when we divide it by 2, we have 251.36. Okay, now to get the circumference or the perimeter of this shape, we'll add it all together. Okay, 251.36 plus 160 centimeters. And the final answer here is 411.36 centimeters. Now, number 2, we're asked to look for the circumference of this figure. Okay, and we're given the circumference, but we're not given the diameter, neither were we given the radius. Okay, so we first of all have to look for the diameter. Given the circumference as 59.4 centimeters, we divide the circumference over pi. Okay, let's go from the top. C equal to pi d. Okay, so to get d, we take d to the other side and we put pi underneath c. So we divide c by pi. All right, so the c is 59.4 centimeters. We divide it by 3.142, which is our constant pi. And our answer is 18.905 centimeters. So this is the diameter. Okay, this is the diameter we have gotten. So remember from our study, we said that radius is twice, diameter is twice its radius. So we simply divide the diameter by 2 to get our radius. If you got this question correct, please put your hands together for yourself. Now, number three, we're given the diameter of a wheel, and we're asked to find the circumference, and we're also asked to find the number of rotation it can make in a given kilometer. Okay, so let's go. D equals to 56 centimeters. Since we're given our diameter, let's use the formula for circumference when diameter is given, which is pi d. All right, so circumference is equal to 3.142 times 56 centimeters, which is the diameter. And this is the answer we've gotten. And the answer is 175.95 centimeters. If you approximate that, we have 176 centimeters. Thus, in a distance of 1.76 kilometers, the rotations made will be 176 centimeters, which is the circumference, okay, over the distance, which is 1.76. Therefore, in a distance of 1.76 kilometers, we have 100 complete rotations. Because if you divide 176 by 1.76, you have 100. So 100 complete rotations will be made in a distance of 1.76 kilometers, giving the circumference of 176 centimeters. Now, number 2, we're given a radius. Okay, we're given a radius, and we're asked to find the circumference or the perimeter. So we use the formula 2 pi r because radius is given. 2 times 3.142 times 42, which is the radius. And this is our answer. If you approximate it, we have 264 centimeters. Okay, so if a square has the same perimeter with what we just calculated as 264 centimeters, we have to look for the length of one side of the square. Remember, we said that a square has 4 equal sides. Okay, and we've gotten the formula for looking for the perimeter of a square as P equals 4L. So very simply, we put our perimeter here and equal it to 4L. So L is equal to 264 divided by 4. And when we do the division, we are going to have the length of one side as 66 centimeters. The length of one side is 66 centimeters. Now, the final question, we're given a diameter as 28 centimeters, and we're asked to find the circumference, and we're also asked to look for the distance. Okay, the distance is the car travels when it makes 150 turns. So first of all, let's look for the circumference. When diameter is given, we said circumference is equal to pi d. Pi, our constant, is 3.14. We multiply it by the diameter, which is 28, and we have the circumference as 87.91 centimeters. Now, when the wheel makes 150 turns, the distance traveled is this circumference multiplied by 150 turns. Okay, and this is our answer. Remember, we have to leave our answer in meters. So in converting centimeters to meters, we divide by 100. Okay, so 13,186.5 divided by 100 is 131.865 meters. I hope you got that correctly. So if you got it correctly, put your hands together for yourself. Well then, we've come to the end of the lesson for today. Today we learned a lot about the circumference of shapes. We learned how to calculate the circumference of circles. And we said to calculate the circumference of circle, we make use of 2 pi r when radius is given. And when diameter is given, we make use of pi d. Okay, do well to go back and revise what we've learned today. So we'll meet in my next class. Thank you very much.